At this point, like, I'm like shaking and I have the shivers and I just don't know what to do with myself. And I tell my mom, I'm like, take me to the emergency room. I cannot take this anymore. Like, feel like I'm dying. Like, that's how it felt. Like, I felt like I was dying. Hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have seen my previous video, I'm filming this video after this makeup tutorial. So if you want to know how to get this look, I'm gonna link it in the description below. Okay, so today I'm gonna be telling you guys my horror story, my IUD horror story. It was definitely like a learning experience for me. If you want to know what are the side effects of like this specific IUD that I got, it's the Kyleena. It's not the, I forgot what the other one was called. The Marina, I don't know. There's like a bunch. I think there's at least like, I don't know, 12.
Stupid.
Okay, so this was 2016. I was gonna move in with my boyfriend in a few months, and we have always been long distance. So, you know, this move, I was just kind of like, all right, let me just prepare myself, let me get on birth control, because we have been long distance and birth control wasn't really something that I needed. So I make an appointment with my pediatrician. At first, I made an appointment with my pediatrician, and I went, and she told me that the best birth control method for me would be the IUD. I thought this was like, I thought it was great because I was researching myself, and the IUD seemed more logical for me, because the pill, I forget a lot of things. So I didn't want to be reminded every day to take this pill, and then I forget, and then out pops the baby. The thing in your arm, I didn't want to do that because I have this fear of things, like things like penetrating into your skin. Like, I have a fear of needles. I have a fear of, like, I can't see that. I can't, even thinking about it makes me lightheaded. So that was not a choice for me at all. And I think, what else was there? I forget. Oh, the patch. I was moving, so I think you had to get it removed. Like, you had to get it replaced every 3 months. And then the shots, again, every 3 months. I wasn't gonna be there, and also I hate needles, so I would get a shot. So I just thought that the IUD was the best for me, just because it was inserted into your vagina, and it, you know, it was like, it was there for, I think, like 3 years that you were supposed to get it replaced every 3 years. No, yeah, with the Kyleena, I think it's every 3 years. Pediatrician then told me to make an appointment with my OBGYN. I didn't have one because, again, I was sexually active, and I never really went to an OBGYN because I've always gone to my pediatrician. I've always gotten tested at my pediatrician's office, so I didn't really feel the need to go to an OBGYN. And also, I've never really had any problems with my downstairs area ever, so I didn't really, you know, feel the need for one. So I make an appointment with my OBGYN, and I go in for a consultation the second week of December, because you need to go in for a consultation so your OBGYN can talk to you, see what's right for you, you know, get you educated on that type of stuff, how the procedure is gonna go. So I went with one of my friends, and it was good. Like, I felt calm, you know, the nerves hadn't hit me. It was just a consultation. She told me that if I didn't I wasn't gonna gain weight. It had very, very little hormone. I think it was like 19 point something milligrams. I don't know. I don't know, but it was super, super low compared to the Marina and the other IUDs. Also, at the consultation, she checked me. She put 2 fingers up my area, and it felt uncomfortable, but you know what? She's my doctor. She was my doctor, so I let her do whatever she wanted. I go in, I make an appointment December 29th, and I go in, and I'm scared, and they tell you before, like I think an hour before you go in to get it done, to take, I think she told me to take some painkillers, some Advil, so that's what I did an hour before, and let me tell you, it did not fix anything. Like, it just didn't do anything for me. So I go in, I'm all nervous. I'm not as nervous, as I was after, but I'm like, all right, whatever. So they call me in, they ask me if I need to use the bathroom. I'm like, no, I'm good. I go in, she tells me to take off my pants, my underwear, and to just lay wide open, have my legs spread, and like put a sheet over myself. So that's what I did. It was really quick, like it was just one and done. Basically what she did was she took out these really big tongs, and she opened me up, and then she took this really long cotton swab, and she just cleaned me out, whatever. She opened me up with these really big tongs, and so she stuck the IUD on this really long stick, like this really thin long stick, and she just shoved it in there, and all I heard was a click, and it was in, and that's it. And then she took it out. She's like, all right, we're all set, we're all done. And I was like, wow, like that was really quick, and it was uncomfortable, and it was a little bit painful, just a little bit, because they are penetrating through your uterus, and that's where it goes. So, and it just kind of like hooks, like I don't know how to explain, like it hooks on there, and it just distributes hormones. It's effective after like 7 days, or maybe immediately, I don't know. Don't fact check me. So go to Google and just figure it out, whatever. So I go to the front, and I'm with my sister, so I tell her, I'm like, can you please bring the car to the front of the building, because we were parked across the street. And I told her, I was like, can you please bring the car to the front of the building, because I don't think that I can walk this off. And it was like, it was a little bit of cramping, a little bit of bleeding, but it was normal. I knew what to expect. We're on our way home, and that's when it hit me. Every little bump would feel like imagine period cramps, but 10 times worse. That's how it was for me. I went home, and the first thing I did was eat, and I went to sleep. Like, it was so easy for me to fall asleep, because I'm the type of person that pain makes me sleepy, like period pains. I'm always tired when I'm on my period, and I knock out right away when I have cramps. So that's what happened. So I wake up, and I'm like, okay, like the cramps are gone, everything's good. 5 minutes later, I feel stabbing, just the worst stabbing of my life. And I get up, and I'm like, oh my god, like it feels like I have to go to the bathroom, like to do number 2. It feels like I have to go to the bathroom. And I go, nothing comes out, but I am bleeding, not a lot, just a little bit. And so I go back to my room, and I just knock out again, and I wake up again, and it's fine. And then 5 minutes later, it's like this really, really bad stabbing in my lower stomach. So I'm shaking at this point, like I'm like shaking, and I have the shivers, and I just don't know what to do with myself. And I tell my mom, I'm like, take me to the emergency room, I cannot take this anymore, like I feel like I'm dying. Like that's how it felt, like I felt like I was dying. My mom, she tells me, you know what, just wait it out until tomorrow. If you still feel like that, then you can go to your doctor and tell her. So I was like, all right. The next morning I wake up, everything's good. 10 minutes later, these cramps come back, and I just had it. I call my doctor and I'm like,
listen, I'm going in. I'm gonna go see you because this is not okay.
So I go in and she basically tells me,
yeah, this is abnormal. Just give it a few days. It's just because your body's not used to having a foreign object up there and it's trying to reject it.
so I was like, okay, that makes sense. Let me just wait a few days. I waited 2 days and I was supposed to be leaving to come here. I was supposed to be moving 1,000 miles away in 3 days. It's been 2 to 3 days and I go back to my doctor and I'm like, hey, listen, can we just take this off? I don't want to do this. She's like, no, just, you know, keep it in. You're not gonna, like, it's okay. And I was like, all right, I'll believe you. She just has to take some painkillers. And I was like, all right, whatever. She was trying to convince me so hard to keep it in, so that's what I did. Stuff over here. So we drove all the way to Kansas, from Massachusetts to Kansas, with this thing that with this pain. Like, I never want to go through that again. Like, if that's what giving birth feels like, I never want to do that in my life. So we get here and we get to Kansas and the pain kind of subsidizes a little bit. It's not that bad. It would come and go. So like I would count it and the pain would come every 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes it would come every 6 hours, but it was just always there. So I was just kind of getting fed up and I started looking at Planned Parenthoods near me because I figured, let me go to Planned Parenthood and get this shit removed before it kills me. So I started doing my research, and then at the end of the day, I kind of just decided that I was gonna wait until I went back home to get it removed. But let me tell you, these next few months, because I had it in for 6 months, 5 months, I had it in for 5 months, and these next few months were hell. I was in pain every single day. I would get spotting when I was about to get my period, and there was one point where I was home by myself and I woke up in the middle of the night to this pain that I've never felt before. It was cramps, but it was like, it was bad, like worse than anything I've ever felt in my life. I go to the bathroom, I think it's like 3 in the morning on a Sunday. I go to the bathroom and I just start bleeding. Like, I go to take a pee and I just start bleeding, and it was strange because I wouldn't bleed randomly. Like, it would always be when I was about to get my period. So I just started bleeding and I thought it was strange because I had just gotten my period not too long ago. And I go to wipe myself, as you should do whenever you finish using the bathroom. I go to wipe myself, and this little teeny tiny, like, it was like super small, it kind of looked like a clot, but it wasn't red. It was kind of like, I don't want to show a picture because I don't want to get, like, you know, blocked or anything by YouTube. I don't know what it's called, but it was basically like this little claw, like super tiny, and it had like a string to it, like it had a string at the end to it, so it was kind of like a little circle and then like a string, and in that circle it looked like a little bone. I don't know, I really don't want to show a picture because I don't want to like gross anybody out, but TMI, you know. But it was just kind of like weird, like it was something that never came out of my body before. So, you know, I was like, all right, whatever. I took a picture of it because I wanted to show my OB once I got back home. Took a picture. I took the picture and then I just I just, my apartment is haunted for looked out. I think a week later I was supposed to be on my flight to come back home. So I come back home and I go to my OB, I make an appointment to remove it, and I removed it. It was just as painless and as quick as the first time. I go and I remove it and back to normal. Like, it was like if nothing happened. The cramps stopped right away, automatically. The cramps stopped, and my period went back to normal right away. So it kind of like, it just messed me up. Like, those months I was just out of it. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, it was just the worst 5 months of my life. There was a few perks of having the birth control. I didn't get my period like full blown. I would get spotting, but it would literally come for like a day or two, and it would only be when I would wipe myself that you would see like a tiny little bit of blood, but not that bad like when I usually get my period. It was hell. It was hell, and I recommend everybody do their research. Maybe it was just my body that just couldn't handle it. You know, I've heard of other people that it worked perfectly fine for them. I wouldn't recommend anybody getting the Kyleena. Actually, no, that's super bad for me to say, because what if it works for you and it just didn't work for me? Do whatever you want, just do your research, talk to your OB. One thing though, my period did go back to normal. I've always had a normal period, so that wasn't anything that I was worried about. Before I got on the birth control, I had my period. I always get my period for 3 to 4 days a month, every month, ever since I was like 13. But yeah, it went back to normal for sure. It went back to normal, and I haven't had any problems with it since. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it informative. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, please share, please like. Go check out my other video on this eye look, because I did do a video on this eye look. I don't know if it's gonna go up before or after this video. Most likely before this video. And if you guys like, I have a list on my phone of all the story times. Like, I have a, you know, I don't have that much of an interesting life, but I have interesting stories that have happened to me, and if anybody would like to hear them, I would be more than happy to tell them. Like, they're crazy stories. So yeah, so comment, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody, and I'll see you guys in my next video.